I just want to get this out of the way before we really get into the video. I love the Phoenix Suns talent and personally think that they're going to be a really good basketball team this year. That is, if their focus as a team is actually on winning basketball games and not on what other people are saying about them. As much as I love the talent that the Suns have, unfortunately, some of their players have had some pretty rough moments when it's come to handling trolls, trash talk, or even criticism. In 2017, Kevin Durant would literally get caught defending himself on his main account, exposing one of his super top secret burners at the time. Now, while there's typically nothing too fishy about defending yourself on your main account, as we've all done it, heading to a burner to defend yourself while referring to yourself in the third person is kind of funny, but to be fair to Kevin Durant, he did have a point. Regardless of how close that they were with that roster, it was in essence really just him and Russell Westbrook, but that's besides the point. In all honesty, I thought that Kevin Durant handled that whole burner situation better than most people would have. But then again, why do you even need a burner in the first place? You're literally Kevin freaking Durant. Defending himself against the burner trolls, Kevin Durant would say that when people use that burner thing against me, they thought that I was only on there to talk trash, when I was really indulging in a lot of different communities on my burners. Now thankfully, Kevin Durant has graduated from burners, and now he's just flat out entering Twitter spaces.
I just think how y'all even look at the game is whack. Playoff success, like you factor in team success when you talking about players. I just think how y'all consume the game is trash. Like, are you good or not?
I agree. I mean,
some things could be that simple. Are you just good or not? I mean, a lot of people have seen it for a long time, brother, and it's okay. These lists don't really mean nothing anyway. So why are you getting so upset about them?
Regardless of his reasoning, I have to say that Kevin Durant entering Twitter spaces is a gift to the basketball community, because in reality, as he's let us all know time and time again, he really owes us nothing. I say that if Kevin Durant wants to feed the trolls, who are we to try to stop him? Now, as bad as Kevin Durant is when it comes to things like this, his teammate Devin Booker seems to be just as bad. And that's saying something. Does anybody remember Luka smiling at Booker before Luka went on to put the Suns out of their misery?
27-point lead. Down goes Johnson. Bullseye.
Oh no.
They're shredding him.
Oh no, he didn't.
Does anybody remember Devin Booker posting this after the Suns became the first team in the NBA to lose to an international squad since 2016 after the NBL 36ers dubbed them? The Phoenix Suns had my man Craig Randall out there looking like Steph Curry. I thought that game was going to get him an NBA contract by itself. Now, for those of you that don't understand the symbolism behind this screenshot, it's from LeBron's infamous press conference where he said this after losing in the finals in 2011. All of the people who are rooting for me to fail, at the end of the day, they have to wake up tomorrow and have the same life that they had before they woke up today. Now look, I don't want to sit here and act like Devin Booker has always been in the wrong or take away from the edge that he has that has made him into the best scorer in the game. When he talks trash, I'm sure that he knows he's getting it back. For example, when the Suns beat the Warriors October 25th in a 134-105 blowout, Book and Klay would get into it. In the third quarter of that game, Klay would receive 2 technical fouls en route to an ejection. While being ejected, Klay would reference the amount of rings that he has, which Booker simply brushed off after the game, saying that, "I love Klay Thompson, but that doesn't excuse us from being competitive and talking to each other. I've always admired his game, how he plays on both sides of the ball, and obviously the rings speak for themselves." This response from Book was super admirable. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. There's nothing wrong with being competitive on the floor, even if it does come with a little bit of trash talk. As long as the trash talk doesn't get too crazy or personal, in the words of Chris Smoove, why not let it fly? As good as Book's response was, we get an even better one from Klay when he'd recently be asked about the events on Paul George's podcast.
You low-key a trash talker.
Yeah.
What's the favorite bar you dropped on someone in the league? I know Book, you gave him the...
Yeah, I was in my feelings though.
The full
And Book was
time.
busting my that day. I was not where I needed to be. Yeah. You know, stuff doesn't age well. Now that it age well for me,
Yeah.
like, I don't need to be flexing 4 rings, bro. Like, everybody know that. That's on Wikipedia. My game wasn't where it was at, and we all get insecure at times. I managed to admit that we all have our moments of weakness, so I'm not really proud of that one. Because I see Devin Booker, and I should be like, man, I should be proud of this young man.
Yeah.
Like, the work he's put in, he survived a tough regime in Phoenix where everyone's getting traded. He's playing for a new coach every year, but now he's a franchise player because he just kept working. So I admire the guys who have work ethic like that, you know?
As we could all guess, Book loved this response. He loved it so much that he gave Clay the salute on IG. The salute is a pretty official emoji. It's a great way to show respect to whoever you're sending it to. But you see, here's the problem. While he approved of the response that Clay had, he wasn't feeling Paul George's question, or maybe more so the way that he asked it. I'm guessing that he really just didn't like Paul George bringing up that specific incident since it involved him. With Paul George being a podcaster, he felt like Clay was trying to bait him. In that same comment section where that salute was left, Book would ask PG if he got the answer that he was looking for. Guys, where is that Michael Jordan meme when you need it?
And it became personal with me.
Alright, so before we advance, we have to talk about this meme really quickly, because I can't be the only person on the planet that remembers Michael Jordan saying that I took that personally. Sorry guys, I'm just a bit in disbelief that I let a meme alter my recollection of something. Now, while Booker asking Paul George if he got the answer that he was looking for was nowhere near as bad as Booker getting the Raptors mascot in trouble, I thought that his response was surprising because, quite frankly, it was a really good podcast question, and it really just put the ball in Clay's court. If anything, Clay got the opportunity to clear the air even more and let everybody know how he really felt about the situation. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think of all of this down in the comments below. Here's what Paul George thought.
My thoughts on Booker's comments. I mean, he didn't really say nothing other than is that what you wanted to hear? I don't really care. That's Clay's answer. You know what I mean? That's Clay's answer. I asked a question, Clay gave his response. That's Clay's answer. I don't know what that was supposed to mean. Sorry, response.
This response from Paul George was pretty ironic to me because in reality, he could have blown this whole thing up if he wanted to. Let's be real, he's a podcaster. If he wants to fish for clicks and farm views, he could do that and use this situation to very easily. Now, I'm not saying that Paul eventually won't milk this situation or anything like that, but he really doesn't have to. As a consumer of his podcast, the product is amazing. I didn't want to say it, but you could make an argument that he's a better podcaster than basketball player. That's how high quality of a product that this guy puts out. Now, I'll admit that these two do have a small bit of history, but there's no way that either of them are mad at something that happened years ago, right?
At getting under your skin, and I say this as a compliment than Chris Paul is. And this happens to involve Devin Booker.
Guys, in the comments below, let me know what you think of everything. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.